and $274,000 was from applicants that were looking to serve both the agriculture and forestry sector. And after the conversations with reviewers have put forth to the board today 19 yes and maybe applications. The total of the yes and maybe applications, so the yes would be applications that reviewers felt strongly should be funded, and the maybes were applications that either had a question pending or reviewers felt that they were a very strong application, but maybe weren't as strong as the yes application. So the yes and the maybes total $991,445, which is $621,445 over budget or above the amount of funds that we have. Of the 19, there are 11 yeses. So the strong yes recommendations that total $567,770. So the yeses are I shouldn't say only, are $197,770 above the funds available. And it's interesting actually, because they're incredibly there's an incredibly equitable distribution. There's, of the 11 yeses, there's 5 forestry applications, 5 agriculture applications, and 1 that serves both. I thought that was sort of uncanny actually when I was just tallying everything up. Yeah, and then of the maybes, the 8 maybes, there are 5 agricultural focused applications, 2 applications focused on the forest sector, and 1 application that is looking to serve both sectors. So yeah, thanks, Sarah. I actually was trying to let Stephanie in, and I'm not sure.
I think she's in. I did let her in.
I tried to as well, but it looked like it was spinning. Is she in? Claire, do you want to reach out to Stephanie and just see? I think there's a technical difficulty happening here.
Sure.
Okay. So any questions on the numbers? I can drop, let me drop, I'll drop some of the numbers in the.
How many reviewers did we have?
Total reviewers, I think we had like 22.
Awesome.
So every application is reviewed by 3 reviewers, like 3 individual reviewers. So I dropped some of the numbers in the chat, so they're not for those folks who are more visual than oral. All right, so I think the process, I can go over the process for today. Our goal for today will be to discuss as many yes and maybe applications as we can. And I think it is feasible to discuss all 19, or close to all 19. We will stop at 11:30 and we'll take stock of the applications, if there's applications, yes and maybe applications, and the no applications that reviewers want to flag for conversation. For the last 30 minutes of the conversation, we will then drop those in the chat and make sure that we discuss those flagged, and not just reviewers, sorry, board members. Make sure we discuss those flagged applications. And then for the last 10 minutes of the executive session, we will step back and we will look at the docket as a whole. And then we will be looking for motions on a final slate of awardees. So we will vote on a
We'll
final
make the
slate
motions. The motions are
out
made
of-
outside of executive session.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Outside of executive session. So there won't be any voting during the conversation process.
It's accurate.
Yeah, and then just for the benefit of the whole group, we will ask a reviewer, someone who reviewed and wrote up comments for an application, to briefly share a summary of the application prior to making any recommendations, just for the benefit of the participation of the whole group.
I want to recognize too that we have a few new board members, so I would say that please don't be shy. Be willing to speak and ask questions as the questions arise. This is obviously a new process to you. Maybe you've served on other boards, but it's very interactive and we want to be inclusive of all thoughts and questions. So is there anything else that folks would like to accomplish before we entertain a motion to go into executive session? All right, so we're gonna have a busy day going through many applications. So at this time, I would be looking for a motion to move for us to go into executive session to discuss the grant applications and potential awards. Because the board will be deliberating about potential future contracts and assessing whether to award by grants or contracts. The board will also be discussing personal and confidential or proprietary business information that could invade applicants' privacy or otherwise harm them, and the underlying records are exempt from disclosure under the Public Records Act. Premature knowledge, public knowledge of the board's deliberations would place the Work and Lands Enterprise Board at a substantial disadvantage when later negotiating and discussing these potential awards and/or applicants' personal and confidential business information could harm applicants or put them at a disadvantage. So that's one big motion.
So
And,
moved if I don't have to repeat all of that.
I appreciate that, Elizabeth. Yes. Do we have a second? Excellent.
David,
Thank
I'll
you,
second it.
Allison. Is there any questions, comments before we vote? All those in favor say aye, or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're going to take a second here to shut off the recording and we will start our deliberations. So thank you very much for coming.
This is David. I'll make that motion.
Hold on, David. We've got to restart recording. So the recording has started and we welcome folks back to the continuation of the December Work and Lands meeting. After review, we're looking for a motion to authorize the ag team to begin negotiations with a desired slate of applicants. So I'd be looking for someone to make that motion.
This is David, and I will make that motion.
Thank you, David. Do we have a second?
This is Alicia, and I'll second that.
Thank you, Alicia. Do we have any comments, questions? Before we take the vote, just want to thank all the reviewers for their time and board members as well for today and the discussion and thought that has gone into presenting this slate. So thank you all. With that, we will take a vote. I don't see any questions, no hands up. All those in favor say aye.
I'm going to make one comment before we close. We're going to be going into the business enhancement review process and decisions process. So we've received over $5 million in requests for $620,000 of funding. So if anyone does have process recommendations, like let's talk about it. You know, I think we're always looking to improve this process. I think we've made changes that have really strengthened the review process. I don't think we've made as many changes in the decisions meeting. But, you know, let's think about this together. We're going to be coming into another very challenging
Mhm.
decision-making conversation. So,
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the slate. All those in favor say aye.
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 Raise your
Aye.
hand. Thank you. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. So with that, I'm assuming you would all like to be dismissed. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Allison. Do we have a second? Oh, that was Donna. Allison, you second. I saw the hand go up. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Happy holidays.
Thank
thank
everyone.
you
Thanks,
all.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
Thank
Allison.
you.
Happy holidays, y'all.